Welcome back. So today we are going to make our first 1x1 Lego. As always, since Fusion 360 is a cloud-based service, you want to make sure that you are in the correct team. Some people will have multiple teams listed here, so make sure you're in the right spot. And check your folders to make sure you're saving in the right project folder and the location that you want. Once you've done that, the first thing I'm having you guys do at the moment is save this to make sure that you have a project or a file saved and you don't forget later on. I'm going to call it Legos for now and save. All right, I'm going to hide my data panel. So here we have our design space. This is our browser where we can see all the stuff that we've got in this design file. View cube is over here. Now, typically, for most designs, I tend to start with a sketch. And today we're doing a Lego, so it'll be no different. I selected the Create Sketch from the Create menu. And now I want to look down on my part. So I'm going to click right here to select my plane. To make sure that I'm on the right plane, right here, it says top. So that tells me that I'm looking straight down at the design I'm about to make. First thing for this design is to create a rectangle, and we are not going to define the size of the rectangle as we're doing it because I want you guys to use the dimension tool. So to make a rectangle, you select the 2-point rectangle tool, or if you need to make your rectangle from a different angle, there are other options in the drop-down menu, but we're going to stick with the 2-point rectangle. So click and click again. I have my rectangle. But as you can tell, right now it's blue. That means that it is not locked in place and the sizes are not defined. And I didn't pay any attention to the size. So I'm going to come up here to sketch dimension. You may not see this icon on your screen. And that means to get to it, you need to do your create drop down. It's typically the very last tool in this menu. And you can also press D on your keyboard as a shortcut, or select it there, click it in your create menu, or press D. So 1x1 Legos, where there's only one piece on the top, we're going with an 8mm design. So I'm going to pull the dimension, I'm going to press 8 and hit enter. As you can see by looking at my mouse, the dimension tool is still selected. So I'll do that same thing again. Click the side, click here, press 8, hit enter. I now have an 8x8 square. I am going to finish this sketch, which you can do up here with the green check mark or over here. So finish sketch, and voila, there is the basic beginning sketch for my Lego. I'm going to use the extrude tool to take my Lego, and I'm still looking directly at it from the top, which doesn't give me a good view of what's going on. So I'm going to select my home view, which is right here. Boom. So now we have our home view, and I'm going to pull this up, but I need the size to be pretty specific here. So I'm going to go into my dialog box for extrude. I'm going to go down to distance. And I'm going to set the height of my square at 9.6. So now it'll be like a rectangular cube. So we have 9.6 there. You can see it here, and you can see it here. The last thing I need to do before finishing off and clicking OK is go to New Components under the Operation menu. This will allow us to use joint commands and other commands on this part. So 9.6 is my height or my distance, and the operation is set to new component. Now I click OK. Here we go. This is the basic block, but Legos have the little tip on top. So I'm going to create another sketch and come over here. And you see how the top of my 3D part is highlighting there? That is what we want, and we're going to select this plane to make our drawing on. Now, again, we're not going to define our circle when we make it. We're going to do it afterward with the sketch dimension tool. So you come up here, center diameter circle. There are also multiple other options in your create drop down to make different circles, but we're going to stick with center dimension, center point circle. Now click, I have my circle here. It's not centered and its size is not clearly defined. So I'm going to select sketch dimension tool. First, I'll start with the circle, click once to select the circle, click again to place the dimension for it. This needs to be 4.8 millimeters. And as long as you're working in the millimeter units, you don't have to type millimeters. So 4.8, hit enter, it resizes our circle. The circle is still offset though, and we need it to be in the middle of our part. We know our block is 8 by 8, so the center of the circle needs to be 4 millimeters from 2 of the edges. And I'll start with the edge, and then I will click the center of my circle, bring my dimension out here, click, and hit 4 to set the dimension, press enter to make it happen. All right, so now we have the center of the circle is 4 mil from this edge. We now need it to be 4 mil from this edge or this edge. Last time I started with the side, so this time I'll start with the circle. You can click the center of your circle. A lot of the time, it will also let you click the outside of the circle and then your edge you're going to, and it'll automatically adjust to the center points. Again, 4 millimeters, hit enter, there we go. I hit escape typically to get out of the dimension tool, and for personal reasons, I'm going to move the 4.8 up there. I'm going to move the 4 over here. It just looks a little cleaner if I don't have my dimensions like in here on that edge. And there we go. So this sketch is finished. So we're going to hit finish sketch. Again, I'm still looking straight down from the top. Gonna go to my home view, and we need to use extrude again. So this time, we're gonna select inside of the circle that we just created, and it's selected. If you go down with it, it'll cut. If you go up with it, it'll join. We definitely want it to be set to join in this case. And the height of this tip of the Lego is 1.6 millimeters. So again, we do 1.6 for the distance, and the operation is set to join. We say okay, and there we go. And now if I double click this real quick, it'll select the whole thing because this is all one solid object. One of the things that we're currently missing from your typical Lego is the bottom is still solid. So we are going to use the shell command. It shows up right here. This is the icon for it. If you hover over any of these, details will show up about it. And you can also see it right here for the shell command. We're going to click the bottom of our Lego block. For the size, we're going to do 1.6 millimeters. Look at my notes and confirm that. Yes. And make sure that direction is set to inside. It should automatically do this for you. This is the inside thickness. If you type it in over here, it should also fill in over here. And say okay. Now you have your Lego with the hollow inside. I do want us to fill it or radius some of these edges so that it's not a razor sharp edge on the top and on the inside. Plus, I feel like it makes the Legos themselves look a little better. So we're going to select the fillet tool. And if you don't see it here, it's in your modify drop down menu and it's right there. The F is the keyboard shortcut if you'd like to use that. The 3 places where I'm having you add fillets for this Lego are right here, the top of your circle, down here where the tip of your circle goes into the opening at the bottom of the Lego. You just click the pieces or the edges that you want to fillet. You don't have to hold shift or anything to select multiples. It's just click the circle, click the 4 edges down there, And then I also would like this edge right here, the circle that was created through your shelling operation down on the bottom face of the inside of your Lego. I know that's a lot of descriptors. So you're going to have a fillet here, here, and down here. We're going to go with 0.2 millimeters for these. It's not huge, but it's a nice little detail in there. You add the size right here. You can also type it into the dialog, well, the window that shows up over here. Say, okay. Now, that is your first Lego created. I already saved it once, so I'm going to add my comment, which is first 1x1 Lego. And I'm going to post this comment. And now I will, a lot of the time when you comment, it will auto save. So for your next project that I will be talking about, we will use this. We're going to start with the same file and make at least 2 more Legos. Before I go, I want to show you the appearance. The appearance tool allows you to apply materials to the objects that you create in here. It can also be accessed just by pressing A on the keyboard, or you can go into your modify menu, down to appearance, and then an appearance dialog box will show up. Now for this Lego, I'm gonna do paint. We'll do glossy paint, and I want it to be a blue Lego. So I just click on this, drag, and drop it. And now my Lego is blue. That will be what we'll do in the next video. But for now, thank you guys for your time and have a wonderful day.